she turned into a Christmas ornament.
My parents gave up on getting us pictures after the 5th and 4th child.
Well, this is awkward.
Katie, do you have any water?
No,
Oh.
that's what the
The
water
water
fountains are
fountain
for. It's kind of free. You get free water from the water fountain.
Welcome to your last period
Yay.
of the first day of the second quarter.
Oh.
So,
Yay.
a couple of things that I do every quarter, sometimes every month, just
Give us free food.
do. So, no, there is not a test. However, in addition to the new seating arrangement, there is.
Wait, there's a new seating arrangement?
We're in it.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't this what it was like before?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. In fact, y'all did it for me. Or y'all were the first to participate. Anyway, a couple of things. Actually, three big things that I want to kind of cover with you before we kind of get started. What did that eraser do to you? Anyway,
Sorry.
Destroyed her life.
we don't necessarily have a seating chart any longer, at least until such time that you need one. But with that, here's what I ask, that no one sits in the back. So all of you need to move forward. Now, Nixon, I think the best place for you is either right here or right here. Or the other, your choice.
Hey!
But there are the only empty
It's a cringy
seats
hug.
should be in the very back. There should be nothing separating you and the front. So that's not good enough. You're going to have to move.
Sorry.
So, and it's not because I enjoy your after lunch breath or anything like that. This is just what I want to do. So you can sit here or you can sit here. Your choice. But y'all move forward.
Oh, can I sit there?
Or there. Move forward.
That's dirty. I am not sitting there.
My hair hurts like long now.
Yeah, because of the bleach.
Done. Okay. Again, it's not because I'm looking to see if you wore deodorant for tennis practice or anything like that. I just want you for it because I know you have tennis practice right before here.
I have actually Spanish before.
Oh, yeah.
And then before that, she has tennis.
See, that's what I thought. Okay, so if you have not figured out yet, I tend to keep basically an internal clock and calendar sort of in my head. It's weird. I know that.
It's organized.
But this kind of keeps me in the loop as far as what time frame I have left with you. It's not that I'm trying to get rid of you. It's like I sometimes think about, okay, I got to get this done, I got to get this done because eventually you leave. And I want to make sure I get able to cover everything you need before bye-bye. You go away.
What if you stayed in 9th grade forever, though?
Well, I
Sure,
guess that's the
fail.
case.
Oh,
You
I
could
know.
do it. But I want to show you this just to kind of give you a time frame that we're kind of looking at. So today's October 16th. Yay, 18th. It's a 4-day week. Awesome. That means, count with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 weeks we have until Thanksgiving. Inside those 5 weeks, hold your comments and questions. I'll make sure I give you time. Inside that, I have about 6 lessons I have to get through before I get to Thanksgiving.
6?
Inside there, we have 3 embedded assessments and 1 common assessment inside of all that. So with that being said, if you look over here for just a moment, if you can see, our next embedded assessment is going to be the 25th of October. That's in about a week. It is roughly 9 days from today. Then we have another embedded assessment on November 2nd. Unit 2 is kind of split up into pieces. You already saw the common assessment where it said Part 1. Part 2 is coming as far as November 5th is concerned, and we will be done with all of our information. I will say, as I told you, the 2 of you that I had in 7th grade, that this is closing in on that time where things are going to start moving faster because they have to. With that being said, you see we have 5 weeks. After that, we have about a week and a half's worth of instruction that I have before I get ready to start doing, unfortunately, math testing. We have to do again for middle of the year. But I will say, Mr. Long and I were talking about this last period, this stuff right here is a little tricky, and it's kind of condensed What I'm going to ask when we get there towards the end of November is that you just keep up. I'm going to give you the way to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to lean a little bit on IXL to kind of help you practice that, because that, sorry that you are in pain,
That's not really hurt.
but I will say, if you've noticed off to the side here, we've gone ahead and done what we think are necessary for our IXL assignments to kind of help you out. Okay? Now, if you, and I have, everybody was here the first day, with the exception of maybe Mary, but I'm pretty sure she was here. This is accessible on the Bourne website. So if you want to go look at it, see what's upcoming, you can do that. You should have gotten from me an email, as well as a Google Classroom post. Mr. Long and I and the rest of the 8th grade team have discussed at length, especially after talking to Kennedy, over the weekend, where the safest way for all teachers to communicate with you guys is through Google Classroom or email. So if you have not done so for whatever reason, by Friday, we need you to sign up for every Google Classroom that you have on your schedule. It's not just core content areas, but there is group messaging that you'll experience when you get to high school. But this is kind of the best way for us to communicate, to make sure you get it. If you don't check your school email on a regular basis, I'm not going to force you to, but at least 2 or 3 days a week to see what's what. Hopefully there's not a lot of junk there, but anyway. So the 5 things that we assigned in conjunction with Ms. Stewart and Ms. Yamuni. Because if by chance you're with Ms. Stewart or Ms. Yamuni for accelerated math, if you remember, we didn't want you to do double the work. So we tried to make things match as far as where that's concerned. First one was Y1. It's, hey, can you tell me what the slope is based on the graph? That's something we've already done, but we're going to get a little more detail. Second one is, hey, can you take 2 points, give me the slope? By the end of the period, I'm going to show you a formula that you're going to use for the remainder of your math career to find these using 2 different points. It's simple when you start getting used to using the formula. It's harder when you start, but it gets a little bit better. This kind of goes back to this over here, and one of the reasons why I gave it to you so early. Dies, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So if you look at any of the things that are flashing up on the screen, you're looking for, hey, give me the slope, hey, give me the y-intercept. And question 1 on the common assessment literally had the equation written out for you, and I can't tell you how many people missed it. And it's literally negative 300. It says so right there in the form equation. But, whatever. So 1/4 x plus 3, you should be able to tell me what the slope is as far as that's concerned. And then 5, can you graph it if you know the slope and you know the points? And then the last thing we had for you is literally, can you say, hey, can you graph this? If you were paying attention to me and I whipped this a lot for you and said, hey, guess what? You can do it. It's all right here. And by the end of the week, hopefully, I'll show you how to put stuff from a table into the calculator and be able to graph that as well.
Didn't we already do that?
I'm going to show you how to put it in the table.
I thought we already did that.
Not the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you with lists and show you how to make an equation based on the list that you're going to put in. But hold on. I don't want to confuse you too much. Yes, ma'am?
Do you know how confusing senior math is?
Yes, I do.
I went to use my sister's calculator. It's so much. It's what is happening here?
Yes, and hence the reason I'm trying to get you prepared for such things. This is your review that I also posted to the Google Classroom, just to kind of give you an idea of what's coming as far as, hey, can you tell me what it is from a table, a graph, and the equation? Okay. And can you tell me from what the y-intercept is from a table? Can you tell me what the slope is from a table? Can you just give me a scenario that goes along with this? Hopefully by the time we're done, you'll be able to do that. Can you graph it? Hope so. Do you know the difference between increasing and decreasing in zero slope? We did those. They were directions, positive, negative, and zero slope. So something to think about. And then, hey, can you tell me what this stuff is and what the y-intercept is? The big thing over here that we haven't necessarily talked about is proportional and non-proportional. That's coming into this week or first of next week, but it's coming. And it will make sense, hopefully, by the time we're done. It's something you did, or I did with my 7th graders, so we'll see how much you remember. It's not as complicated as you think. There's literally one feature that tells you which one is which. So, all right. In your books, which none of you have,
God, sweetie, where's your red book?
Carly, can you give me my book, please?
What number are you?
I don't know. It says my name on the side. Oh, I'm 10. I think. Yeah, I'm 10.
Oh, thank you.
My dad has one of those. My dad has like 3 of those actually. Thank you, Dad. Like Yetis. My dad has like 3 Yetis.
A Yeti?
Those things.
That is that one.
Nice.
He has one from school, and then like
Wait,
one
what
he got.
Yeti? Oh, those.
One from school, and one he got from like a gift.
I'm too cheap to be a Yeti. It's just an Arctic.
Yeah, you can get those at Five Below. Got
Oh,
it from
good to
my
know.
dad.
Good to know.
Birthday. He was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
All right. On page 174 and 175, we are going to unpack your next embedded assessment. Go over a little bit of the unit part 2 review, which we just did. And then when there's time, and there will be time, we're going to start lesson 12.1. But it's going to be in the note form. You don't actually need to look in the book. You don't have to take 174 and 175 out of your book. You may. Keep in mind this is a form of your embedded assessment. This is the only time we're going to be going over it. If you have questions after the fact, I suggest you get with me and find time. Oh,
My throat feels like
I'll do it in a minute. All right, so these are the things I think you should be pulling out of here. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you to look through the embedded assessment. Highlight, underline, circle, box, whatever. If you want to try to work on it, you can. Identify what it might be asking you to do. And
Is this
Go.
the actual embedded assessment that we're going to take?
hence the reason that's what it says on top.
Oh.
Oops,
So I
sorry.
could just do it right now.
Go for it. You got 10 minutes.
My throat feels like a diluted soap.
This is a lot of words.
That's the point. Mr. Bourne, can I use the restroom?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I dropped it.
Ah, how bad did I do? I will get it for you. Wait, I don't get it.
Oh, okay.
Dang. I wrote about the car. Yes. Sometimes I.
Well, someone dropped it.
Oh. 4 nickels.
Wow.
About 4, 8.
9 minutes. Use your time.
It's just these 2 pages?
Just those 2 pages.
Oh.
Wait, what are these going by? These 3.
Something you're going to need to discover.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, you are going to unpack this, and I highly recommend and tell you to, because I say so, put these in your journal.
No, I want to.
That's what I say. That's what I say. Yes, I will.
Thank you.
You're most welcome, ma'am. Trying to make your life easier.
I thought it was hard. In other words, I'm making a laugh.
Dying. Okay. What's talking better?
It's important. Why don't you have the Millennium Falcon up there with all the other spaceships? Oh, I just noticed.
It's really tiny compared to those other ships. The ones in the back are really huge.
Well, those are giant, like, those are the big ones.
5.5 minutes.
Who's your favorite character?
Vader.
Vader.
Slope and y-intercept.
Oh.
Unit 2, EA number 2. Evaluate equations to make decisions. Graph data proportional and not proportional. Determine rate of change. Linear equations and rate of change. Solve and write equation.
Can I just put rate or can graph? Graph is
Sure.
rate. My notes are so messy today.
He was also hitting